Hey everybody, Jonathan Crow here from NinjaOne. I'm Director of Community, and I've got with me the familiar face, Dan the Man Myers, Senior Product Manager in charge of all things backup related with Ninja. Dan, how's it going? I know you're recovering from the flu, but you're here, you
Yeah,
made it.
that's all right. It's all right. I am. I'm a little less energy today, which is a real shame because I'm actually really excited about this release. So we'll try and keep it calm and level, but I generally can't do that. So I'll bring it. I'm just excited to talk about this release
All right, everybody be kind to Dan this stream, please, for once. Dear
for
Lord.
once.
No, everybody, thanks for joining us. It's 12.0 week. If you remember the Discord you saw, just posted an announcement. Uh, we had seen some issues during the past few days, folks, particularly in Europe, seeing some issues with stability that the team jumped on. They addressed. Hopefully, everyone's all good there. But out of an abundance of caution, in case those issues are 12.0 related, the team has made the call for delaying the release. We want to make sure we're not causing disruption to folks. If we can limit that, we're absolutely going to do that. So there's lots of exciting things with 12.0, but we're not going to risk you guys having stability. We're not going to put that at risk for all those new features. So we're going to hold off on 12.0. It was scheduled to go live tonight, over Wednesday evening for the folks in North America. And we're going to hold off on that a little bit. We'll update you all with once we have a new date. The folks are taking a look at things and trying to assess that right now. So wanted to get that out of the way. For the rest of you who are joining us, of course, if you're in Australia or if you're in Canada, you've had access to 12.0 for a while. The folks in EMEA too. Maybe you already had a chance to play around with some of these new features and capabilities. If you're not, if you're North America based, you're going to get them soon, we promise. But it's going to be a little bit later, just so we can make sure everything is working good for you. So with that, Dan, we're going to be highlighting, of course, backup is the topic of the day. Specifically, I know we've got a couple of bigger updates, including boot verification, some other things. You want to give a little bit of a highlight of a little of a itinerary before we dive into things and specifics?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Jonathan. Thanks. So yeah, we're gonna go take a look at boot verification. It's probably one of the biggest things we've worked on, and we're so excited to share that. We'll go over some of the other little blips that are around in 12. We're also going to talk about some of the SaaS backup integration because it is very exciting the state that we're in currently.
Very cool. Yeah, let's do it. And those of you in the audience, per usual, let us know what you have questions about. If you have any comments, if you have started using some of these features that Dan's going to be showing, let us know how it's working for you. If you need any more information, if you have any feedback, as always, we're here. We're all ears. These are really meant to be not just me and Dan talking to you, but us talking with each other. So definitely take advantage of the moment and give us your comments here in the chat.
Great. All right. So let's dive in. Let's
Yeah.
understand what boot verification is.
What a tease. But let's do dive in. Let's wait and hope that Dan comes back soon. And in the meantime, you guys can roast me here in the chat if you want to. Let's see. I guess while I'm stalling here, while Dan comes back, has anyone do the folks online here? Do you have access to 12.0? Have you been utilizing things? And who else is using NinjaOne Backup now versus you're not using it, but you're just interested in it? Let me know in the comments. Striker, of course. And Ben, hey guys. And here, while we're doing this, I'm going to bring up a couple of resources for you. Dan just messaged me. He says he's good on other internet. Apparently, he has multiple sources. Maybe he has a backup. Think left is right. Thanks for commenting there. And Striker, you're testing NinjaOne backup right now. Cool to see. Enabled, not sure we got it configured at all yet, Oscar. Yep, that happens. Hopefully you guys have all the resources and access to your account managers and everything, that you have the good resources you need. Dan's got streams, in addition to once we get him back here live. We've also got a variety of previous streams that can walk you through the configuration tips and tricks, things like that. No, and Ben, thanks for saying that. So it's working out well for you for using it mostly for the critical non-server workstations and some servers. Striker, hoping to ask Dan how billing differs between VMs and normal service. Was given 2 different quotes. Yeah, and starring that. We'll get to Dan when he comes back. And then hopefully hopefully he absolutely decided to wait until now and install that update now. Yes, I can walk you through all the boot verification things. No, I wasn't prepared for this. And I'm on the North American instance. We have our stars here. We have a lot of folks here in the chat who have access to Ninja features before I do. Oh, Dan says he's rejoining. Oscar, cool that you made that move. I know that's a big move to make. Ripping out your RMM as you're still expected to, provide service to everyone and automate too. I mean, I'm sure if you're like a lot of folks, you've been that with that for years and fine tuned it. So big move to make. Hopefully everything's gone well with the migration and everything. Glad to have you. So I want to call out too while we're sitting here tapping our yeah, Striker. Dan is trolling me actively right now. He may be taking the title from you. All right, let's see. We'll give Dan another 5 minutes here, guys, and then we might have to reschedule this one too. Jeez, I don't know what's going on. But while we're here, I did want to call out. I believe we're still scheduled to have a webinar with Jeff Hunter. So you guys, I'm sure, are very familiar with Jeff. He's been doing our webinars for years now. He is a wizard at NinjaOne, knows all. He does the partner office hours. He's going to be walking through a full 12.0 feature updates webinar tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. And I shared a link to a registration page that's going to be through Zoom. So it's not like this one. You'll unfortunately need to go through Zoom and go through that hoop to get access to it. But then afterwards, it will be on YouTube and you'll be able to see all that. And so the difference here is that, yeah. Well, the idea with these live streams is we have a chance to talk with the PMs, go a little bit deeper. But Jeff is going to be great at including going over all the new features of 12.0 across the board at a higher level. I'm also going to share the blog post to folks who, if you haven't seen that yet. And we're also going to be doing another live stream tomorrow as well, scheduled for, I believe, after that webinar with Jeff. And Luke Whitelock is going to be joining us again to talk about PSA, which I know a lot of folks are looking into and have had questions about, with PSA. You guys, are you still partnering with Halo and everything? How's that going? Yes, we're absolutely partnering with Halo. And in fact, our PSA, we're pretty clear about it that it's starting off with the basics. It's going to be built up over time. But for anyone who has more complex needs, we're definitely directing people to Halo. And look, we got him back.
What a tease.
Thank you for
What a
bearing with
tease.
me, everybody. Thanks for sticking with
I
me.
was so excited, and I still say it wasn't my fault. I had full internet everywhere else, only Restream wouldn't reconnect. So gave it the old reboot. Oh no, we have less time. I better get started, huh?
You better get started. People
All
are
right.
tired of listening to me.
Oh God, I know. Believe me. All right. Boot verification really is about taking your server's image backup and validating that it can boot. Um, so many people today are getting these questionnaires, right? And really, it's true. Have you tested your backup? Your backup is only as good as your last tested restore. And we know as MSPs, you're managing hundreds of even more servers and workstations that are performing backups. You don't have time to go test every single restore, right? A boot verification feature is going to take this machine, show you that it can boot, and give you proof of it. So let's dive in to show how that works and what it looks like here. So let me go ahead and make sure I've got the right screen. Don't want to share that one. Don't want to share that one.
You're just all
That
sorts
one.
of a tease today.
Yeah, I know. All right. So you should be able to see Ninja. Woohoo! Got it. All right. So let's take a look here.
And before
So
you do
what
so,
we're
Dan, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to
yeah,
ask you. You've got an insanely wide screen. That's
yeah,
fine. We get it. You're showing off. But can you enlarge this a little bit or zoom in?
yeah. Sure, we can zoom in
Bigger?
a little more here.
Perfect. Thank you.
So we'll do the best we can here. So let me go ahead and make sure we first of all look at the important stuff, and that's how do we enable this feature here? Because by the way, get the confetti, Jonathan. This is built into the price of your server backups. Okay, we are not charging extra for boot verification. We think it's just a required necessity, and it doesn't need surcharges. Okay, so
That's good news. In this economy, we love it. We are friends of
that's absolutely.
the people.
So this is available for Windows servers. Okay, I'll talk about workstations at the end and how that could operate. Okay, you'll now see in your boot verification section of your server policy for image that you now have the ability to test the Windows OS volume for the ability to boot image backup. You'll be able to set biweekly and monthly as an option here. Basically, after the next cloud image backup takes, that boot verification should kick off. And let's take a look and see what that might look like here. So I'm at the organization level here of Herrera Technologies. And here you can see that we have a new column here. There's actually quite a lot of new things to show off here that we'll talk about. But really the key is our boot verification column here, right? So we will show machines that have boot verification set up and show you the last result here. Okay, so we are taking these machines, spinning them up as virtual machines in our infrastructure, and validating that we can get to a login screen. We're using some fun AI and machine learning technologies. We'll highlight that as a marketing decision later on, but this is exactly what we're doing here. We're giving you the capability of making sure that you can validate that your machines are coming up and working successfully. Now, we also have some nice reporting here. So as of 12.0, these are the type of reports that you can create here in our reporting wizard here, going and setting the frequency, the time range of what you'd like to get a report on. In 13, you will be able to scroll through and see the results here as an image for the different machines, okay? And in 13, where we are, if you're looking at this from the UI, you'll actually be able to click the Ninja platform UI. You'll be able to click here and it'll take you directly to the result, right? We know how important this is because this is typically one of the reports that you may actually send to the clients, right? So it's probably great for a couple of different things, right? You could have the manager of the backup product or the manager of the team managing backups really might only care about this, right? seeing this screen with a list of successes. This won't be black, it'll be green, and the reds, the warnings will be yellow, the failures red, right? So you'll be able to see this information. And then a client may be very interested in seeing the actual images that are being sent to them here. So that is, it's funny. It's actually very simplistic. I don't have a whole lot more to show you about this. This is what it does. It boots your machine and validates that it can get to the login screen. We are exploring sharing and showing more information, and maybe even considering allowing customization of validating what services are started. But I can tell you that we know that these machines are living. Proof of life is what we're after here. We know that we can talk to the operating system and that we can talk to the actual Ninja services. And that's how we're validating that we believe this machine, that we know this machine is healthy and ready to boot. Now, I talked about that there are a little more changes in general of 12 here, and that goes into kind of the widget layout. We've moved the backup jobs and their successes and warnings from the right to the left. That's really from an idea of keeping in line with SaaS backup and keeping it uniform in nature now, but also because we needed to put in the boot verification last result widget here. In 13, we'll have some click-throughs to these, but this gives you the information that you need to know about your boot verifications. Speaking of widgets here, we've also remade our widget here for the usage because of the fact that we now have network shares as backup targets. We wanted, that's just like another fourth plan type that we needed to handle, right? We're running out of real estate, running out of room here. So we've created some nice filters here that allow you to adjust your usage however you see fit. And then should you need to, you can go ahead and click into these and go directly to the metrics as well from the history perspective. So overall, what we've done is we've also, eagle-eyed might notice that there is no longer a start and end time here. We've just got last backup result with the success, right? We're laying the foundation that very soon all of these backup results will be clickable, showing you success, even if it's successful, and giving you a bit more information here. Don't worry though, if you still need the standard start and end time, it's still present on our history dashboard here, the start and finish. So it still gives you a great historical method, right? So we tend to look at our dashboards for two different purposes: historical tracking and what I need to know right now to be safe and protected, right? And that's what we look at this overview tab, the ladder here. What do I need to do to be safe and protected? I have 7 failed backups right now. So I get to click in here, come into network storage not found, and click our button here to go directly to the Dojo article for 303 NAS path not set up on device. I have information on how to solve my problems. I close this out, I run a new backup, and by the time I come back here and it's successful, this is down to 6, right? So dashboards here give you exactly what you need to know to get your machines up and running here. So that's our approach on that. Let's take some, keep any questions coming that you have. I'm going to run through a little bit more information on what's coming in 12. I might even just give you a little peek behind the curtain here and just show you kind of a running PowerPoint that I keep for our internal teams here. So I'll just kind of run through some of this information. Your Aero plans in hybrid now have the capability of deleting local, cloud, or just specific backup data here. This is also the case for volume. So if you accidentally backed up a removable disk, you can delete the volume only. Couldn't do that before. And you could choose delete the cloud of this volume only. Backup cancel jobs. Who knew? Okay, you canceled a job, it didn't show into the history tab. We wanted to do that, and so now it actually has a unique error code. We count it as a failure. I think that's important. This all goes to that foundation that we're laying, where every backup job is going to soon become clickable, where you can get information on each job, right? So we need to lay some foundation. Some end user enhancements. Some people, so you can actually give your end users access to their file folder backups to go do a restore on their own without interaction with your IT department, right? Now we're allowing the image backup. to be used by the end user. We've just changed the same permission, file folder and image. We allow them to mount and download just like you're used to being. There were just some small API additions about the upsync job for a cloud job in a hybrid image backup that we've added. And I forgot my little meme here. Something really lame. We just added the plan type when you're running a backup plan. Little tiny stuff, guys. But we at least are performing that issue. We're also down here at the bottom. This one is more important here. This calculating items to restore. When you're restoring a lot of items, it just says like in progress. And it leaves you hanging, and it doesn't explain what's going on. And this is, again, we're laying foundation here because long term, every single running and completed job is going to have the same type of modal and layout. And I want to show you phases. Like there's 5 phases of our running backup job. Pre-flight, scanning for files, backing it up, validation. We want to do the same thing with restores. So now we're at least telling you, hey, we are calculating the items to restore. We have so far found 30 items in 10 folders, 600 items in 25 folders, right? We need you to have clarity that things are still going, right? We talked about the reworking of the dashboard job widgets, and that's what we have to share on the 12.0. Jonathan, should we take questions? Should we save the SaaS integration for another day, unfortunately?
Let's take a few questions then. Yeah, possibly. We can also get folks' opinions here live online in the chat. Of course, these are going to be available. This video will be up on YouTube for folks to find after the fact. But you all are here right now, so let's reward you. Do you want us to cover? Do you want Dan to cover the SaaS backup updates too? Would you rather spend more time here and talk about questions regarding the endpoint backup? Let us know. And while you're doing that, we will take a couple from Stryker.
Yeah, take it.
Cool. So Stryker asks, will this alert or create a ticket when boot verification fails? Also, if it checks every 14 days, will it wait 14 more days to try again? Or is it going to try the next day until it works?
Yeah, we have some activities coming in the pipeline. I don't have the notifications immediately. It's absolutely going to happen, right? And we are looking at some of the retry capabilities. Honestly, the only reason machines are failing today. So boot verification is fun. It's all about hardware profiles. Like we're over 96% success. The ones that are counting as warnings are because Windows Update is running, and we can't just sit there and wait for Windows Update to run. We'd go out of business. This costs money to run. Okay, no, but the only times we've seen some failures are when it's like, oh, I'm not accounting for an NVMe driver, right? It still doesn't mean something can't happen. We will absolutely have activities and alert notifications in the future. So.
All right, cool. Let's hit one more from Stryker, and then Stryker and Left is Right. You guys both are voting for SaaS backup, so let's see if we can do a speed run there, Dan. But okay, so does boot verification only work if you're using the cloud backup function, or does it somehow work locally?
Cloud only. Cloud and hybrid capabilities. We are not capable of doing this locally. We're spinning these up in AWS infrastructure, right? It's just next door to the backup storage. So we have easy access to start streaming the contents and reading only, right? And then we keep a little RAM disk locally for watching it boot and validating. It's only available for cloud.
All right, thanks for that. Here's another question. How long will the system wait for the verification to boot before abort?
I don't, it's not a set time necessarily, but we do, it's, almost immediately within the first 30 seconds, if it's going to happen or not. So, we are very good at recognizing what's going to happen or not. Like you either get to those Windows Update like screen pretty quickly, or you get stuck at a screen pretty quickly. So I don't have any, there's no specific wait time. I know exactly what you're talking about, right? I know other products allow, expanding the wait times. Those are generally being done on like a local appliance. We generally have a pretty clear picture quickly, but it does say the need of, what Stryker is talking about. Like, can we have a little, like, can we do like,
Well, folks, we had him for a while. You made good use of the time. Here's what we're going to do. We're at a couple minutes, and Stryker, I guess, like our Discord, we had the wrong time. Sorry about that. Man, we'll get it together, guys. But this week is clearly cursed. And so we're going to try again. We will reschedule a time to get Dan back here. Make sure that he's not dropping off, and we will corner him, get him to show us updates to the SaaS backup. And we'll also get him to answer these other questions too. And we won't even wait for that. So these questions that you've added in the chat that we didn't get to, I'm going to make sure that we get responses when we add that to the description. And that's right. Dan needs to do a restore. Oh wait,
there?
ah!
I've literally been listening to you the entire time. Nothing dropped for me. Nothing dropped. I'm like, what are you talking about, Jonathan? I'm right here. I heard the whole thing. Dude, although to be clear, that is the magic of internet. I'm sure there is some network internet stuff going here, but I've always seen this happen where like UDP packets are still flowing. You're still getting your Teams message, but everyone's making fun of you that you're frozen. I'm here, baby. Don't even.
Okay. All right. So
can't get rid of me that quick.
We should reschedule the SaaS backup one if that's cool.
We will.
But I guess we have one more minute. Do you want to try to hit a couple more questions before we?
We certainly can. So let me know what you have, and we can keep going. I mean, you want me to hit the one on screen? There's not a verbose log of why the verification failed today. We have already begun creating error codes, just like we have in the backup product. So as we see them, we will exit with a specific code that you can start clicking into the dojo, just like I showed you guys for that, right? And so as we learn more failure reasons or rhymes of reasons, we will be adding that and updating our documentation. The cool part about this is we've actually been testing this behind the scenes for like 6 months. We have it's just reading data, okay? So we've been able to test on over 50,000 machines so far, and make adjustments along the way.
I have one more for you, and this might be a good stopping point, but this is an important
this is
one.
Perfect. Yeah. So a couple of clients that use Windows 11 box as a server. Will boot verification come to workstations? No. Asterisk. Okay. Make your Windows 11 machine a server role. You can go into the details of a machine and change its role or its settings, I think. And you can change its policy from a workstation to a server, because we believe that most people are talking about exactly what you are. They want to treat these like a servers. They probably want it to be alerting on a server policy rather than like a workstation policy with like a weird sense of overrides. So if you go and set your box to a server policy, it'll take your server policy and you'll have access to this. It's a premium feature, which is why it has a premium price attached to the server backup SKU. But it still will be included in that. And so far, we've seen that is exactly what people are after with this.
Maybe sneak in one last one from Stryker. He was hoping to ask you about billing differences. Now that we're on this subject a little bit, but this time between VMs and normal servers. He says he was given 2 different quotes. I should know this too, Dan, and I'm not.
You should. It's kind of embarrassing, but that's okay. So Windows workstations and servers are billed differently, right? It's a different price depending on this. I mean, this is fairly universal in backup land. Couple, so yeah, basically the server costs a bit more. But that is because you're backing up your primary infrastructure and your needs. And these are some of the areas where now we have unique features and capabilities, which uh, continue to justify why this is the case. So your CSM, your account manager and sales rep can definitely help you with that. But we also know that we are exceptionally competitive out there today. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that touches on. So this question was answered. So changing the role, increase the cost of the backup for
That's
the
correct.
device. But then, what about this one? So Oscar was just wanting to really confirm here. So the function isn't tied to OS, but policy type.
That is correct. Server policies.
Cool. All right. Well, hey everybody, thank you for sticking with us. Dan, thanks for battling the internet and and me rudely kicking you backstage.
No,
I
that's all
imagine
right.
you back there like pounding on
I
the
was
door.
basically.
Okay, let's get you back on relatively soon. We also had to reschedule the MDM stream. So we're gonna get those back on the books. We'll do it soon. And also we'll get 12.0 back on the books for everybody in
We
North
will.
America. But thank you everybody for taking time. Dan, thank you again. Hope you feel better. And everybody will see you again real soon as tomorrow, to talk about the updates to PSA.